Good morning. It is Monday morning, meaning it's time for some Motivational Monday. My name is Christopher Donnell, pastor here at Urbana United Methodist Church. So glad you're joining with us today. So hopefully some motivation, some encouragement for you today. We were reading in our men's group on Saturday mornings. If you're ever interested, if you want to join our men's group Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here at the church, we've just been going through the Bible chapter by chapter, have great discussion, encouragement, prayer. It's always fulfilling and encouraging. But when we were talking this past Saturday morning, we were on Acts chapter 14, and it's talking about Paul and Barnabas. And you already see the birth of the church in the previous chapters, and now they're kind of moving from the centralized location of Israel, and they're taking the mission and the gospel out, and it's going north up towards the different areas at Mesopotamia and towards Cyprus and the whole ancient Near Eastern part of the world, the northern part of that area, and which then leads to Rome and Greece. And so you're starting to go up and out, and there's this really cool thing that happens there. Not cool for Paul, because Paul actually ends up getting stoned and almost dies. But he was in the town of Lystra, and he preached this message. They thought him and Barnabas were God, so they sacrificed to him, and they said, "No, I'm not." And then they stone him, and he almost dies, and they leave him outside of town. And then it says Paul walked back to town, the same place that they just tried to kill him at. They stayed there for a day, and then they left, and they went to go encourage another city and encourage the other group of Christians there. But then it says they came back to Lystra. And I think that's so interesting. Could you imagine being in a town and somebody tries to kill you based on your message of hope and healing and forgiveness for everybody, and they run you out of town, and you then leave, and then you have the courage, the guts, maybe the stupidity to then go back and preach again. And I think that's a call for us to be motivated with our own spiritual walk. Is God does call us to do difficult things, and sometimes it takes more than once. Sometimes it takes getting knocked down, sometimes it takes getting dragged out, and sometimes we almost can die from the things that God calls us to. And this life, the challenge that we live in it, there's moments of hardship and dark things that happen, but that doesn't mean we give up. And that's always easier said than done. It's really easy to look at the scripture and say, Paul, great job on not giving up. I don't know if I would do that, but I think the encouragement is there that he did. He believed in what Jesus offered, so much so that he would sacrifice himself. He would go into harm's way. I think that's a pretty compelling message. If somebody's willing to give their life up for the gospel, what are we willing to give up? What are we willing to sacrifice? And I think that's the invitation that Jesus asks us every day. Come and follow me. And if there are things that are preventing you from following me, will you give them up? Will you sacrifice? And that's a hard question, and only you can answer that, and only I can answer that for me. So I invite you this week to ask the question, are there things that are preventing me from following Jesus, and am I willing to give them up to go follow him? Have a great week, everybody.